Bienvenue chez Examist, votre partenaire de confiance pour réussir vos certifications. Nous proposons des supports d'études complets, en ligne et hors ligne. Et nous sommes là pour vous guider pas à chaque étape. Des guides PDF détaillés aux exercices pratiques bien structurés. Toutes les questions essentielles sont soigneusement couvertes pour vous donner toutes les chances de réussir. Vous aurez toujours les bonnes ressources à portée de main. Téléchargez les PDFs. Faites des tests et connectez-vous à notre équipe d'assistance experte. Avec la pratique interactive en ligne. Entraînez-vous et quand vous voulez. À votre rythme. Nos PDFs prêts pour l'examen sont soigneusement élaborés et régulièrement mis à jour. Des milliers d'apprenants certifiés font confiance à notre qualité et à notre sérieux. Des professionnels qualifiés sont disponibles pour répondre à vos questions. Commencez dès aujourd'hui et donnez à votre préparation l'avantage décisif avec Examist. Visitez Examist.com dès maintenant. Examist. Votre parcours vers le succès commence ici.
Question 1. Which of the following is the most important reason to maintain key risk indicators? CRISC. Option A. In order to avoid risk. Option B. Complex metrics require fine-tuning. Option C. Risk reports need to be timely. Option D. Threats and vulnerabilities change over time. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. Threats and vulnerabilities change over time. Question 2. You are the project manager of a HGT project that has recently finished the final compilation process. The project customer has signed off on the project completion and you have to do few administrative closure activities. In the project, there were several large risks that could have wrecked the project, but you and your project team found some new methods to resolve the risks without affecting the project costs or project completion date. What should you do with the risk responses that you have identified during the project's monitoring and controlling process? Option A. Include the responses in the project management plan. Option B. Include the risk responses in the risk management plan. Option C. Include the risk responses in the organization's lessons learned database. Option D. Nothing. The risk responses are included in the project's risk register already. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C. Include the risk responses in the organization's lessons learned database. Question 3. You are the project manager of GHT project. You have identified a risk event on your project that could save $100,000 in project costs if it occurs. Which of the following statements best describes this risk event? Option A. This risk event should be mitigated to take advantage of the savings. Option B. This is a risk event that should be accepted because the rewards outweigh the threat to the project. Option C. This risk event should be avoided to take full advantage of the potential savings. Option D. This risk event is an opportunity to the project and should be exploited. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option D. This risk event is an opportunity to the project and should be exploited. Question 4. You are the project manager of a large construction project. This project will last for 18 months and will cost $750,000 to complete. You are working with your project team, experts, and stakeholders to identify risks within the project before the project work begins. Management wants to know why you have scheduled so many risk identification meetings throughout the project rather than just initially during the project planning. What is the best reason for the duplicate risk identification sessions? Option A. The iterative meetings allow all stakeholders to participate in the risk identification processes throughout the project phases. Option B. The iterative meetings allow the project manager to discuss the risk events which have passed the project and which did not happen. Option C. The iterative meetings allow the project manager and the risk identification participants to identify newly discovered risk events throughout a project. Option D. The iterative meetings allow the project manager to communicate pending risks events during project execution. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. The iterative meetings allow the project manager and the risk identification participants to identify newly discovered risk events throughout a project. Question 5. You are the risk official in Bluewell Inc. You are supposed to prioritize several risks. A risk has a rating for occurrence, severity, and detection as 4, 5, and 6, respectively. What risk priority number, RPN, you would give to it? Option A, 120. Option B, 100. Option C, 15. Option D, 30. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, 120. Question 6. Which of the following is the most important use of CRISC? Option A. Providing a backward-looking view on risk events that have occurred. Option B. Providing an early warning signal. Option C. Providing an indication of the enterprise's risk appetite and tolerance. Option D. Enabling the documentation and analysis of trends. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, providing an early warning signal. Question 7. Which of the following role carriers will decide the key risk indicator of the enterprise? Each correct answer represents a part of the solution. Choose 2. Option A. Business leaders. Option B. Senior management. Option C. Human resource. Option D. Chief Financial Officer. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, business leaders. Option B, senior management. Question 8. What are the requirements for creating risk scenarios? Each correct answer represents a part of the solution. Choose 3. Option A. Determination of cause and effect. Option B. Determination of the value of business process at risk. Option C. Potential threats and vulnerabilities that could cause loss. Option D. Determination of the value of an asset. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. Determination of the value of business process at risk. Option C. Potential threats and vulnerabilities that could cause loss. Option D. Determination of the value of an asset. Question 9. You work as the project manager for Bluewell Inc. Your project has several risks that will affect several stakeholder requirements. Which project management plan will define who will be available to share information on the project? Risks. Option A. Resource management plan. Option B. Risk management plan. Option C. Stakeholder management strategy. Option D. Communications management plan. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, communications management plan. Question 10. Which of the following controls is an example of non-technical controls? Option A. Access control. Option B. Physical security. Option C. Intrusion detection system. Option D. Encryption. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, physical security. Question 11. You are the project manager of GHT project. Your project team is in the process of identifying project risks on your current project. The team has the option to use all of the following tools and techniques to diagram some of these potential risks, except for which. 1. Option A. Process flowchart. Option B. Ishikawa diagram. Option C. Influence diagram. Option D. Decision tree diagram. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, decision tree diagram. Question 12. Which of the following best describes the utility of a risk? Option A. The finance incentive behind the risk. Option B. The potential opportunity of the risk. Option C. The mechanics of how a risk works. Option D. The usefulness of the risk to individuals or groups. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. The potential opportunity of the risk. Question 13. Which of the following aspect of monitoring tool ensures that the monitoring tool has the ability to keep up with the growth of an enterprise? Option A. Scalability. Option B. Customizability. Option C. Sustainability. Option D. Impact on performance. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, scalability. Question 14. You are the project manager in your enterprise. You have identified risk that is noticeable failure threatening the success of certain goals of your enterprise. In which of the following levels do this identified risk exists? Option A. Moderate risk. Option B. High risk. Option C. Extremely high risk. Option D. Low risk. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, high risk. Question 15. Courtney is the project manager for her organization. She is working with the project team to complete the qualitative risk analysis for her project. During the analysis, Courtney encourages the project team to begin the grouping of identified risks by common causes. What is the primary advantage to group risks by common causes during qualitative risk analysis? Option A. It helps the project team realize the areas of the project most laden with risks. Option B. It assists in developing effective risk responses. Option C. It saves time by collecting the related resources, such as project team members, to analyze the risk events. Option D. It can lead to the creation of risk categories unique to each project. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B. It assists in developing effective risk responses. Question 16. Which of the following processes is described in the statement below? It is the process of exchanging information and views about risks among stakeholders, such as groups, individuals, and institutions. Quote. Option A. Risk governance. Option B. Risk identification. Option C. Risk response planning. Option D. Risk communication. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, risk communication. Question 17. You are an experienced project manager that has been entrusted with a project to develop a machine which produces auto components. You have scheduled meetings with the project team and the key stakeholders to identify the risks for your project. Which of the following is a key output of this process? Option A. Risk register. Option B. Risk management plan. Option C. Risk breakdown structure. Option D. Risk categories. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, risk register. Question 18. Which of the following components of risk scenarios has the potential to generate internal or external threat on an enterprise? Option A. Timing dimension. Option B. Events. Option C. Assets. Option D. Actors. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Actors. Question 19. You are the project manager of GHT project. You have planned the risk response process and now you are about to implement various controls. What you should do before relying on any of the controls? Option A. Review performance data. Option B. Discover risk exposure. Option C. Conduct pilot testing. Option D. Articulate risk. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Conduct pilot testing. Question 20. Which of the following is not true for risk management capability maturity level 1? Option A. There is an understanding that risk is important and needs to be managed. But it is viewed as a technical issue and the business primarily considers the downside of IT risk. Option B. Decisions involving risk lack credible information. Option C. Risk appetite and tolerance are applied only during episodic risk assessments. Option D. Risk management skills exist on an ad hoc basis, but are not actively developed. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. There is an understanding that risk is important and needs to be managed. But it is viewed as a technical issue and the business primarily considers the downside of IT risk. Question 21. An enterprise has identified risk events in a project. While responding to these identified risk events, which among the following stakeholders is most important for reviewing risk response options to an IT risk? Option A. Information security managers. Option B. Internal auditors. Option C. Incident response team members. Option D. Business managers. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D. Business managers. Question 22. Which of the following is a technique that provides a systematic description of the combination of unwanted occurrences in a system? Option A. Sensitivity analysis. Option B. Scenario analysis. Option C. Fault tree analysis. Option D. Cause and effect analysis. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Fault tree analysis. Question 23. What is the process for selecting and implementing measures to impact risk called? Option A. Risk treatment. Option B. Control. Option C. Risk assessment. Option D. Risk management. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Risk treatment. Question 24. Which section of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act specifies periodic financial reports must be certified by CEO and CFO? Option A. Section 302. Option B. Section 404. Option C. Section 203. Option D. Section 409. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Section 302. Question 25. What is the primary need for effectively assessing controls? Option A. Controls alignment with operating environment. Option B. Controls design effectiveness. Option C. Controls objective achievement. Option D. Controls operating effectiveness. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C. Controls objective achievement. Question 26. You work as the project manager for Bluewell Inc. There has been a delay in your project work that is adversely affecting the project schedule. You decide with your stakeholders' approval, to fast-track the project work to get the project done faster. When you fast-track the project, what is likely to increase? Option A, human resource needs. Option B, quality control concerns. Option C, costs. Option D, risks. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option D, risks. Question 27. David is the project manager of the HRC project. He has identified a risk in the project, which could cause the delay in the project. David does not want this risk event to happen, so he takes few actions to ensure that the risk event will not happen. These extra steps, however, cost the project an additional $10,000. What type of risk response has David adopted? Option A, avoidance. Option B, mitigation. Option C, acceptance. Option D, transfer. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, mitigation. Question 28. Which of the following is the most important objective of the information system control? Option A, business objectives are achieved and undesired risk events are detected and corrected. Option B, ensuring effective and efficient operations. Option C, developing business continuity and disaster recovery plans. Option D, safeguarding assets. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, business objectives are achieved and undesired risk events are detected and corrected. Question 29. Which of the following is prepared by the business and serves as a starting point for producing the IT service continuity strategy? Option A, business continuity strategy. Option B, index of disaster relevant information. Option C, disaster invocation guideline. Option D, availability, ITSCM, security testing schedule. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A, business continuity strategy. Question 30. For which of the following risk management capability maturity levels do the statement given below is true? Real-time monitoring of risk events and control exceptions exists, as does automation of policy management. Option A, level 3. Option B, level O. Option C, level 5. Option D, level 2. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option C, level 5. Question 31. Which of the following is true for Cost Performance Index? CPI. Option A. If the CPI greater than 1, it indicates better than expected performance of project. Option B. CPI equals earned value. EV. Asterisk actual cost. AC. Option C. It is used to measure performance of schedule. Option D. If the CPI equals 1, it indicates poor performance of project. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. If the CPI greater than 1, it indicates better than expected performance of project. Question 32. Which of the following do not indirect information? Option A. Information about the propriety of cutoff. Option B. Reports that show orders that were rejected for credit limitations. Option C. Reports that provide information about any unusual deviations in individual product margins. Option D. The lack of any significant differences between perpetual levels and actual levels of goods. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is option A. Information about the propriety of cutoff. Question 33. Ben works as a project manager for the MJH project. In this project, Ben is preparing to identify stakeholders so he can communicate project requirements, status, and risks. Ben has elected to use a salience model as part of his stakeholder identification process. Which of the following activities best describes a salience model? Option A. Describing classes of stakeholders based on their power, ability to impose their will, urgency, need for immediate attention, and legitimacy. Their involvement is appropriate. Option B. Grouping the stakeholders based on their level of authority, power, and their level or concern, interest, regarding the project outcomes. Option C. Influence, impact grid. Grouping the stakeholders based on their active involvement, influence, in the project and their ability to affect changes to the project's planning or execution. Impact. Option D. Grouping the stakeholders based on their level of authority, power, and their active involvement, influence, in the project. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Describing classes of stakeholders based on their power, ability to impose their will, urgency, need for immediate attention, and legitimacy. Their involvement is appropriate. Question 34. Which of the following is the firstmost step in the risk assessment process? Option A. Identification of assets. Option B. Identification of threats. Option C. Identification of threat sources. Option D. Identification of vulnerabilities. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Identification of assets. Question 35. Which of the following matrices is used to specify risk thresholds? Option A. Risk indicator matrix. Option B. Impact matrix. Option C. Risk scenario matrix. Option D. Probability matrix. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. Risk indicator matrix. Question 36. What are the two major factors to be considered while deciding risk appetite level? Each correct answer represents a part of the solution. Choose two. Option A. The amount of loss the enterprise wants to accept. Option B. Alignment with risk culture. Option C. Risk-aware decisions. Option D. The capacity of the enterprise's objective to absorb loss. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A. The amount of loss the enterprise wants to accept. Option D. The capacity of the enterprise's objective to absorb loss. Question 37. You are the project manager of the Gratuit project for your company. You need to complete a project management process that will be on the lookout for new risks, changing risks, and risks that are now outdated. Which project management process is responsible for these actions? Option A. Risk planning. Option B. Risk monitoring and controlling. Option C. Risk identification. Option D. Risk analysis. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B. Risk monitoring and controlling. Question 38. You are the project manager of the HGT project in Bluewell Inc. The project has an asset valued at $125,000 and is subjected to an exposure factor of 25%. What will be the single loss expectancy of this project? Option A. $125,025. Option B. $31,250. Option C. $5,000. Option D. $3,125,000. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option B, $31,250. Question 39. Which of the following are the principles of access controls? Each correct answer represents a complete solution. Choose 3. Option A, confidentiality. Option B, availability. Option C, reliability. Option D, integrity. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option A, confidentiality. Option B, availability. Option D, integrity. Question 40. You are the project manager of GHT project. You have selected appropriate key risk indicators for your project. Now, you need to maintain those key risk indicators. What is the most important reason to maintain key risk indicators? Option A, risk reports need to be timely. Option B, complex metrics require fine-tuning. Option C, threats and vulnerabilities change over time. Option D, they help to avoid risk. Choose the correct answer. Correct answer is Option C, threats and vulnerabilities change over time.